Jack Elam truly hated him more than anyone, and the story behind that hatred reveals just how raw and real Hollywood rivalries could be. Born William Scott Elam on November 13, 1920, in Miami, Arizona, Jack Elam grew up with a passion for storytelling and performance that would one day make him one of Hollywood's most unforgettable character actors. After serving in the United States Navy during World War II, he returned home with discipline and drive, studying acting at the University of Southern California. His crooked eye, the result of a childhood accident, became his most defining feature, something that might have ended another actor's career but instead made Elam instantly recognizable. He embraced it fully, turning it into his trademark and creating a look that made him perfect for the rough, rugged, and often wicked characters of the silver screen. Over 5 decades, he appeared in more than 200 films and television shows, mastering the art of the Western and giving life to villains that audiences loved to hate. From Once Upon a Time in the West to Support Your Local Sheriff and The Night of the Grizzly, Elam's mix of menace and humor made him a legend. But beyond the six-shooters and dusty saloons, Jack Elam's versatility surprised everyone, appearing in comedies, dramas, and even family-friendly shows, proving that his talent was far greater than typecasting could ever define. He brought that same magnetic energy to television, starring in classics like Gunsmoke, Bonanza, The Twilight Zone, and The Lone Ranger, where his unpredictable charm left a lasting mark. One of his most memorable TV roles came in The Texas Wheelers in 1974, where he played a grizzled father trying to reconnect with his kids after years apart. Though the series only lasted 8 episodes, it paired Elam with young talents like Mark Hamill, just before he became Luke Skywalker, and Gary Busey. Critics loved Elam's ability to balance comedy and heart, proving that even beneath the wild-eyed outlaw image, he had depth and warmth. Elam kept experimenting, even playing Frankenstein's monster in the short-lived sitcom Struck by Lightning, and though the show was canceled quickly, his performance showed his rare comedic fearlessness. The 1980s kept his star glowing with his hilarious role as Dr. Van Helsing in The Cannonball Run, and its sequel, stealing scenes from some of Hollywood's biggest names. But behind all that laughter and chaos, there was a deeply human side to Elam. During the filming of the Aurora encounter, he befriended an 11-year-old boy named Mickey Hayes, who suffered from a rare aging disorder. Their unlikely friendship touched everyone who saw it and showed the heart behind the hardened actor. Throughout his life, Elam never held back his opinions, especially when it came to Hollywood's so-called legends. And one name that stirred his anger more than any other was Gary Cooper. To millions, Cooper was the ultimate hero, tall, stoic, and graceful. But to Jack Elam, he was the embodiment of everything wrong with Hollywood's golden idols. Elam often said Cooper was overrated, claiming that his quiet, natural acting was nothing more than standing around and mumbling while the real work was done by the supporting cast. Elam worked tirelessly on his roles, showing up early, studying lines, and giving every scene his full energy. So when he saw Cooper strolling through performances with minimal effort, it infuriated him. He once said, "You could have put a cigar store Indian in High Noon and gotten the same result." To Elam, Cooper's fame was built on looks and myth, not skill or substance, and he couldn't understand why audiences and critics worshipped a man he found passionless and distant. What bothered him most wasn't just Cooper's acting style, but how he treated people on set. While others saw Cooper as a gentleman, Elam saw coldness, especially toward the working actors who carried film's emotional weight. "Maybe he was polite to studio heads," Elam once said, "but he never had time for the guys like me." That bitterness wasn't jealousy, but frustration. Frustration at a system that glorified image over effort, that handed glory to the leading men while the real craftsmen were left in the shadows. Jack Elam had clawed his way to the top through hard work and grit, transforming what many saw as flaws into his greatest strengths. To see someone like Cooper celebrated for doing the bare minimum went against everything Elam believed about acting and respect. He never forgave that imbalance, because to him, Hollywood was supposed to reward talent, not good lighting. Yet even with his sharp tongue and blunt honesty, Elam remained deeply respected for his authenticity. He never pretended to be someone he wasn't, and that made his words hit harder. Jack Elam lived a life filled with humor, grit, and unapologetic truth. He was married twice, first to Jean Hodgert, who passed away in 1961, and then to Margaret Jennison, who stayed by his side for 42 years until his death in 2003. When he passed from heart failure, Hollywood lost one of its most colorful souls, a man who turned imperfection into power and left behind a legacy that no one could replicate. He may have despised Gary Cooper, but he never stopped loving the craft of acting, and that, more than anything, made Jack Elam unforgettable. If you enjoyed learning about the real Jack Elam and his fiery honesty, make sure to subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin and press the bell icon so you never miss more hidden stories from the golden age of Hollywood.